Good Monday evening, Southeast Texas. Welcome to 12 News Plus. We're going to take the next 15 minutes and dig deep into the forecast over the next 7 days. Right now, we've got clear skies, no wind, no blanket of cloud cover, so we're going to see very efficient radiational cooling. And what does that mean? Well, the sun was able to come out late this morning, and we warmed up into the upper 50s and lower 60s. That heat, if you will, is going to be transported back out to outer space with very little impairment. So that means that will drive the surface temperature down because of the dry air, the calm winds, and the clear skies. So should be a cold morning across Southeast Texas. Now, this is not going to be as cold as last January, but we ought to see some patchy frost across Southeast Texas. Could get close to freezing in a few spots. This view courtesy of Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. Some good news on the allergy front. It looks like ragweed pollen is out of the picture. It's all about mold right now. Very high levels of mold out there at, as you can see, and then tree pollen at low levels and grass pollen at moderate levels. So here's your weather headlines. First off, some changes had to be made as far as the forecast between yesterday and today. We have a weak front coming in late Wednesday. That may knock temperatures down just a bit on Thursday. We're talking a couple degrees, but the dry weather shall persist. Yesterday, I had the front coming in late Friday. We're going to back it up to late Saturday. So Saturday looking a little bit warmer than what we had yesterday, but Sunday and Monday looking a little bit cooler. So for right now, a frosty night, maybe a light freeze in spots up in the lakes area will be followed by a sunny, dry afternoon Tuesday with highs in the low, maybe mid-60s across some spots. So your kids are definitely going to need coats in the morning. And with highs only in the lower and middle 60s, that means most of the day will be spent in the 40s and 50s. Otherwise, that weak front coming in late Wednesday will just bring a continuation of dry weather. Lows in the 40s, highs close to 70 right on through Thursday. Warmer weather is expected Friday and Saturday now, well into the 70s, but again, it should be the mid-70s by Friday. Saturday, we're talking 72, 73. The front comes through, and that will bring, in addition to a southwest flow aloft, a gray Sunday and Monday with some sprinkles in the forecast. So tomorrow morning, we're looking at lows close to freezing, and it may do it up in the lakes area, and the mid to upper 30s here in the triangle. That could produce frost. Well, what does that mean? Frost? Okay, so we measure the temperature at eye level, roughly this level. Well, the coldest air is going to be down at the ground, but we don't go down there. We stay up at about eye level. So that's what frost is. It's frozen dew, basically, and that's what we expect to happen tomorrow morning. The temperature will drop to the dew point. You'll have 100% relative humidity. Dew forms on things, and then it freezes and becomes frost. And no, we're not going to have problems with any travel. It's all about pets and plants tonight. Not cold enough for pipes. We're fine with that. So make sure your pets have a warm bedding outside or some shelter, or bring them in. And then your plants, if you've got something, some petunias or something real sensitive, bring them in or cover them. I don't think that's going to be widespread damage. So we expect lows right around freezing. Again, it could go either way, but frost is expected certainly from Interstate 10 through Silsbee, Lumberton, Kirbyville, and back up towards the lakes area. It should be the mid to upper 30s here in the lakes area. I'm not buying that 44 in Port Arthur. I'm thinking more like 38 or 39 and about 36 into Orange. Otherwise, tomorrow after a frosty start, we should see about 62 the way I see it coming up tomorrow afternoon. And 37 is not bad. We'll go 36. 63, 64, I suppose it's possible. We expect lots of sun tomorrow. Certainly, I know we can get 62. Be nice to see 64 after the cold weather we've seen. And then for the lakes area, I'm thinking 61 after lows are right around freezing. Lots of sun in the afternoon, and we expect those high temperatures again to be into the lower 60s with lots of sun coming up tomorrow afternoon. As far as rainfall, it's going to be hard pressed. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, some sprinkles. I'll give you a 10% coverage, maybe Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but the amount is going to be very light. I'd be surprised if we got 1/10 of an inch. And most areas won't see anything over the next 7 days. And one of the reasons is that if you look at the data, we don't have any moisture to work with right on through Friday. Saturday, maybe a little bit of moisture coming up into the atmosphere, and Sunday going to be hard pressed. Just because modeling shows it does not mean it's going to materialize. You have to look at other things. But again, this is the European model, and again, it's usually wet and it's not showing a whole bunch. So we'll go maybe some sprinkles at 10% coverage as we head towards the weekend, maybe Sunday into Monday, but that's about all I can go with. Otherwise, this is not the best news for the drought. Yeah, we've improved since last week because of the recent rains that we've had. And we're running about just under an inch of rainfall in a surplus since the 1st of December. But we're down almost, 10.5 inches since the first of the year. Still level 1 over most of the area. Level 2 drought, which is moderate level up in the northern Jasper and Tyler counties, and western Hardin, Tyler, and southwestern Jefferson County. Now, we have improved since that's last week when we had the severe drought over the area in through western Hardin and Tyler County, western Hardin and Liberty County. But now the severe drought starting to develop over towards Acadiana, as you can see. Otherwise, current burn bands, there's nothing over southwest Louisiana, southeast Texas, but we have seen an improvement today. Harris County dropped their burn band, so again, we may see a resumption of that in a few weeks. Otherwise, no problems as far as wildfire danger coming up from the Texas A&M Forest Service coming up tomorrow. Looks like we're in pretty good shape there. So right now, we have clear skies. We started off the day with some clouds. Some modeling that I was looking at was a little too aggressive on keeping the clouds around, but the clouds that we saw this morning have moved all the way over towards central Louisiana. We're looking at clear skies over southeast Texas on the Pro-Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop. Temperatures are already down at the airport in Jasper in the mid-40s and in the upper 40s to lower 50s here in the Triangle. So again, clear skies, dry air, and the calm winds are really going to help us cool down across our area. Already down to 36 in Little Rock. We're well down into the 40s across East Texas as cold high pressure is basically moving into the area. One thing that we are looking at is the cloud cover. You can see the outer edge of it. And we really pay attention to the cloud cover. This is the outer edge of low cloudiness that was over us yesterday, you might remember. Areas that have cloud cover and or fog in this kind of pattern can be as much as 10 to 15 degrees colder than surrounding areas during the peak of the day because of the lack of incoming solar radiation. And the reason those clouds are moving off is that that trough of low pressure, the upper levels, is scooted very quickly on off to the east. So we've got basically a westerly wind in the upper levels. So that is some good news if you want clear skies, and that's what we're expecting. But we are watching another disturbance, as I can see right there. There's the disturbance that is heading our way, but we don't have any moisture to work with it to cause lift in the atmosphere. So it just doesn't look like we're going to see much over the next, through the end of the work week. It looks pretty quiet. There's the trough coming on in. That'll be here tomorrow. But again, with the atmosphere so dry, we might go mostly sunny. That's about it. But if we had more moisture, that would certainly mean the chance for showers and thunderstorms. It's not going to happen coming up tomorrow. So what I've done is I'm showing the upper level pattern, and basically the winds are going up and over the ridge over towards the west coast and down towards the southeastern U.S. Lots of cold air. You've probably seen it all over social media. But again, over the next week, we get glances of cold air. Coldest stuff stays well. The Arctic air stays well off to the north and northeast through at least the next week as this disturbance comes on in. And again, you can see a west to northwest flow over the next several days. Look at the cold air staying up into the northern plains, the Great Lakes, and New England. That's where it's going to stay. As you can see, another trough coming into, say, Saturday night will bring us another cold front. Look at all the cold air off towards our north and east. Not coming here. As we head on into Monday, we'll be seeing more of a southwest flow ahead of another disturbance right there. That could bring us some showers, some sprinkles, misty type stuff as we head towards, say, possibly Sunday, Monday of next week. Otherwise, tonight, clear skies. It's all about temperatures. And again, you saw what I was expecting. See that this model is a little too warm to see. Yeah, I like freezing, 30, 31, 32, 33 up in the lakes area, about 36 to maybe 39 here in the triangle. So kids, plants, pets, all going to need jackets coming up. Well, maybe not your plants, but they're all going to need jackets coming up and coats tomorrow morning. Don't forget that. And then tomorrow afternoon, by 9 a.m., we should be into the low to mid 40s. Slow warm up by noontime, mid to upper 50s on the way into the lower 60s. It could be a couple spots that hit 64 tomorrow. We'll see. But lots of sun, no clouds, low humidity. Should be a better day than what we saw today, and it's even going to get better as we head on in to your Wednesday, as high temperatures should reach about 70. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet and maybe diminishing to a foot tomorrow afternoon, with east to southeast winds at 5 to 10 knots. Water temperature all the way down to 62 degrees. So our forecast calls for lows at or just around freezing, maybe a little bit below, 31, maybe 32, 33. Silsbee, Buna, Lumberton, Kuntz, you all going to see frost tomorrow morning. And so if your car's outside, you're going to have frost all over the windshield. Otherwise, from about Interstate 10, maybe as far south as Mid-County, you should see frost all the way up to the north. We're going to go the mid to upper 30s here in the triangles. Winds go calm across southeast Texas. Then for tomorrow, for your Tuesday, lots of sun after a frosty, cold morning. Should see high temperatures into the lower 60s. And again, some isolated areas could see highs around 63, 64. Regardless, real light east to south winds are expected and low humidity. All right, taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. You know about Tuesday, but look at Wednesday and Thursday. Warming trend underway, but again, that weak front coming in late Wednesday doesn't move the thermometer much. As you can see, mostly sunny skies are expected, lows in the 40s and highs close to about 70. So no rain expected at least through Thursday and Friday for sure. Looks like a dry forecast. May go partly cloudy on Friday. 75 degrees sounds pretty nice across our area, as that's about almost 10 degrees above normal. Now, as we work on into late Saturday, we'll watch another cold front move on in. We'll go with partly sunny skies, light south to southeast winds. The front may not move in until after sunset Saturday. I just don't see sprinkles. I don't think there's going to be enough moisture in the atmosphere. Could see some sprinkles. It's possible Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But again, that's the change from yesterday, is that we had the front sooner, so it looked cooler on Saturday. It's kind of moved, the models have kind of moved this back a little bit. So Saturday should be pretty nice. And then Sunday, then we start getting that cooler weather moving in behind the front. And then the southwest flow aloft starts bringing in high and mid-level moisture. So we could see some sprinkles coming up Sunday into Monday. Reluctantly went a 10% coverage on Monday, but as you saw, it's not going to amount to too much, maybe 1/10 of an inch or less, as the atmosphere should be fairly dry when you get those low temperatures